Well, the fifth Thursday this month is at the beginning of the month, so we get another shuffle. This time around, we are going to Nerf Arena Blast. This is a total conversion, basically, based on the Unreal Tournament, of the original Unreal Tournament engine, that replaces all the weapons with Nerf guns. And back in, I think it was 1999 when this came out, this was one of my favorites. The first game type that you run into is called Speed Blast, where you're just basically running around the map and you have to touch all of the flags in sequential order and be the first one to do it to win the round. Points I don't think you can win with points without having won the rally. But sometimes there are little shortcuts. Little bits that are hidden and buttons you can press to impede the other players. Tons of little quirks to this, but most of it is just figuring out where all the flags are. You're going to probably run through a couple of attempts before you manage to succeed. Next up we have your basic death match, which is called Point Blast in this game. The interesting bit about how the Point Blast works, though, is it's not really based on kills. It's based on points. And you drop points when you die, depending on your standing. And you have to actually pick up the little point thing to actually get the points for the kill. Because if you don't, other people will run in and grab those points instead, leaving you kind of holding the bag. There are other ways to score points, of course. There are little targets hidden all around the place that will give you points if you fire at them, which can sometimes allow you to take the lead right at the last second. And come in first. After you finish the three main game modes in the first stage, you can go to another area and okay, who left that shuttle bay open? Anyhow, I really do like the second level, the orbital arena, a little bit better because it's got this fairly wide open area that tends to attract the AI, for lack of a better way of putting it. So you get some better firefights. Also, apparently, when I was recording this, it was the anniversary of Nerf's founding. So happy birthday to Nerf kept coming up on the screen every once in a while, which I thought was kind of a neat touch. So I guess October 31st, 1969. Although it's kind of interesting, this came out in 1999, but the first Nerf guns actually only came out in 1992. I didn't realize they were that new. Well, learn interesting stuff every day. But, unfortunately, the melee did not help, and I had to resort to yet another last-second target practice win. Last up we have Ball Blast, where in addition to your normal arsenal of weapons you might pick up while you're running around, you have a special ball launcher. You pick up these, like the green and purple ball I just picked up, special type of balls, and you need to try to get them into these goals. It's a little bit difficult to do from far away, but There's one here that's a little bit closer, so you can get a little bit of a better shot at. I said get a little bit of a better shot. There we go. Fortunately, if you miss, they just kind of bounce off and you can go pick them back up again. If you fire it at another person, they will get that ball, so don't do that. But kind of like Speed Blast, first person to get all 7 balls wins for their team. That's Nerf Arena Blast for the most part. There are a bunch of different areas, but I'm going to move on to one more fun game from my teens. Raptor Call of the Shadows is one of my all-time favorite top-down scrolling shooters. Yes, I have professed my love for top-down scrolling shooters many times in the past. This is one of the ones that got me started on that track. Start out by giving a name and a call sign and picking your difficulty level. And from there, you can just pretty much jump right into the action. There are 3 areas. You generally tend to start out at Bravo Sector because it's the easiest area to work with. And you start out just with some machine guns. But one of the kind of neat things is the points, so to speak, are dollars. The points actually mean something here. So the more enemies you kill, the more money you have to buy weaponry and shielding between missions. Shielding is another thing. On the right, you've got your normal armor and your normal shield, and on the left, I don't have any right now, but you can get a phase shield. You can get up to, I think, 3 at any given time, and they basically keep you alive for longer. So it's not one of those one-hit kill type of things like a lot of the shooters tend to do. They're honest about being difficult here. Now, there's a fun little buggy trick you can do in any level, really, but some are better than others. As you go through the level, you'll occasionally find weapons. You can abort your mission and go back to the hangar. You'll lose all the cash that you'd earned, but you'll still have that weapon. So you can keep looping back through and just keep getting that same weapon, quitting out, getting the weapon, quitting out, and selling it over and over and over again, so you can be really, really beefed up right away in that first stage. And it's actually very effective. Some of the other weapons are a lot of fun, too. So at the end of each stage, you have a boss fight, and lots of particles. And then once you've completed, well, actually any time you can choose any one of the sectors and go take a look at it. Tango Sector doesn't look too different. It kind of looks like a water treatment plant type of deal. Little bit more difficult enemies here, but otherwise pretty similar. Then you have the outer regions. I love it. Our obviously air aspirating jet can fly on the moon. So yeah, sure, we'll do that. I mean, hey, it's the moon. I'm not gonna say no to flying over the moon, are you? While we're here, let's take out some of these biospheres. I'm sure no one's gonna need those. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thanks for stopping by. Click one of these links to do more stuff, and I'll see you next week with my plus dive.